This guitar, for instance, is pretty much, he just lets me come up with all the ideas. I stick it in his face and he looks at it and goes, nice, good, we'll go with it. And so we do. And that to me is great. That's what I want to do. Because I figure between me and Tom together, I mean, we'll conquer the guitar world. And this thing is gonna be a killer, I think. Every guitar we make utilizes the same technology, the Halfling asymmetrical top, and this is no different. But this guitar fills the void of, for us, for an electric. And it's a totally unique construction style. First of all, the shape. I was just thinking Les Paul without looking at a Les Paul. So in my opinion, I think this is a guitar that Gibson should have made as a kind of a second coming of a Les Paul. And unlike a Les Paul, this thing it's pretty much hollow. It's a totally unique style of construction. The back is a book-matched piece of, like a 1-inch board, book-matched. And it's about that thick. And then the top is carved spruce. Actually, this one in particular is cedar, but it's not carved on the underside. It's flat on the underside. And in between these two plates, we have some blocking that goes around the sides. There's a neck block, a heel block, and then there's a block in the center where the bridge and tailpiece mount to. And Tom was really insistent that we use either Wenge or Brazilian Rosewood in these blocks because of the particular musical characteristics of the wood. And then we just bake and wrap side strips, bent sides around it. If you look here, you can see one of the little blocks there. Go around, and so it really kind of resembles our other guitars. This is going to Cliff Coltrari. He operates the Tesdaura guitars. This particular one took a while because I made all the jigs and stuff as it was coming, and then little issues popped up, things that were unexpected, little bugs to be worked out. And in the tradition of Ribbecke Guitar Company, we're just building it first and hoping it sounds good. And we have good luck that way. So.
Well, hi, I'm Tom Ribbecke, and I am in my own shop today with illustrating for you our brand new RGC solid body Halfling chambered guitar, something that's been in development for a long time, and because most of my great artist friends are either on the road or unavailable, we have very limited time to do it. I'm going to I very rarely play my own instruments, but I'm going to do a little bit of that today and talk about the instrument. I also have Mike Gutch here, who is the chief bottle washer and guitar maker over at RGC, the foreman of the company. Mike, why don't you step in and I'll introduce you here. Mike is really responsible for the engineering and a lot of the design of this instrument. In fact, I think it's really his baby, his brainchild. So I'm going to ask him to talk a little bit about its structure, and then I'll talk a little bit about the guitar. So Mike Gutch.
Yeah, I would say the main thing about the construction of this guitar is it's kind of made like a sandwich in a way. I have this that kind of roughly illustrates. Starts with a book match back. That's about 4/10 of an inch, a little less than a half. And then blocking goes around on the perimeter, and there's a big center block under the bridge and tailpiece, and a neck block. That's either Wenge or Rosewood, upon Tom's suggestion. And then the top is, well, in this case it's cedar, and also we use spruce, and it's carved, but it's kind of solid on the underside, so it's not a true arch top in the sense of thickness. But anyhow, so there's actually a lot of empty space, much more than a typical chambered guitar would have. But
this also follows the Halfling design, so it's flatter on the bass side to give a more active bass response and a little more juice in that area, which is what we RGC really does well. And I thought I'd add that just in case we missed it.
Yes, and then also the sides are bent, book match sides like you'd see on any of our other guitars.
Hard to see the sides here, but it's truly a fine instrument. In this particular case, the back, although this is a nitrocellulose lacquer finish, we really don't want to work with anything else but nitrocellulose lacquer because of the quality of the product. This back is lacewood, although it's maybe a little bit hard to see in this illustration. It's a beautiful red sunburst, dark sort of very autumnal sunburst done by our guy Fred Campbell in this case. And you know, the pickups are Seth Lovers. This is a chrome hardware. The bridge and tailpiece are pretty conventional, and the wiring of the guitar is pretty conventional. It's really a passive guitar. What really the object here was to build an instrument that would give us a fat, clear, and rich, like fruit hanging off the tree, low and mid-end on a Les Paul kind of guitar. Specs on the guitar are that we're 25-inch scale, which is pretty standard for most RGC products. We have a 1 3/4-inch nut configuration. We have a concentric pot arrangement here with volume and one volume and one tone on each for each of the pickups, and a standard 3-way selector switch. The neck on this particular guitar is maple. It's also got backing plate on the back of the headstock of lacewood. All in all, it's a beautifully presented, solid body guitar, but the secret is really in the sauce on the inside of this guitar. And the object of the guitar, I'm going to just play a few things to illustrate what it sounds like, is to create an instrument, as I say, that sounds acoustically what it sounds like when it's electrically brought up to speed. We're borrowing from some of my Testadura technology to build this guitar for a really good price. And our structural method of building the guitar was to try to get the cost of it down to the point where this was really affordable by people who really play these things. And nobody knows that better than I do. So just a quick section here. I've got the pickup selector switch in the middle. I'm using a deluxe reverb amplifier from the early 70s. This amplifier has been in my family for a long time. Also gone through by the great Skip Simmons. So I consider this to be a very good baseline deluxe reverb amplifier. I'll give you some sense of this. We're also working in my shop today. You may hear a few little noises in the background. This is the real deal. This is where the guitars are made. So I thought you might find this interesting. So I'll illustrate this with some open chords. Nothing fancy here. But I think what you can hear mid and low end, very acoustic in quality. And I'm going to switch to the bass pickup, or the fingerboard pickup, playing just an open E chord. Now I'll switch to the treble, and gives you a sense of the basic ranges of sounds available with this instrument. I'm going to play just a few licks on the thing, try to make some noise here to give you some sense of it, and we are limited with volume here because of a decent audio signal. We'll do our best. So, I think it's a great blues guitar. It's got really great cutting power. I like it because the thing I like the most about this guitar is it seems to have a lot going on the low end, and as well as the high end, a lot of percussive quality to it. If you notice, if I tap on the guitar, you'll hear it through the amplifier. That's intentional, and that's because of the chambered interior of the guitar. And if I overdrive this unit a little bit, in a standard way that most people will, a sound which is reminiscent of the Counting Crows, or the Black Crows, excuse me. That's sort of very edgy, bright, and this high-end pickup is outstanding. Plenty of nastiness if you need it. I'm overdriving this, by the way, with a tube screamer, an original TS-808. Very true and natural sound, because we're limited with how far we can overdrive an amplifier and still have a quality audio signal on a video camera. What I really love about this guitar, its ability to personally enjoy about the instrument is its ability to take these low-end notes and make them very easy to hear and very edgy, no matter whether you're running on the treble pickup or you're running on the middle of pickup selection, which is beautiful, very bell tone oriented. I think you get the idea. This guitar is very acoustically responsive to however hard you drive it. Pickups are Seth Lovers, made in this chrome finish. They're a little higher output than some people would like, but I find them to be a great mate for this kind of guitar. We also will be producing this guitar with other pickup configurations, some P90s, which are very close to Mike's heart. I think we'll also be using some of my micro-phonic pickups that are a little lower output, so those are all things that you can discuss with us. I think our primary fellow who has been working with us on this project for marketing is Destroy All Guitars and the incredible Cliff Coltreri. That's a good example of it.